Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of Inner Screen, which is the world which came with the newly released Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature expansion pack, and I am so excited to be here with you today to share my very first build with the pack. This is definitely outside of my filming schedule, but I had to bring this to you guys because I was so excited to build a fairy cottage. It was the first thing I wanted to do when I popped into the game. So we are in the world of Overgrown, which is in the top left hand side of the map of Inner Screen. It is the neighborhood where the fairies kind of live, I guess. I don't know. I mean, fairies can live anywhere in this world, but it's definitely more the magical kind of neighborhood. And this particular lot is so beautiful. It is the lot that's kind of closest to the home that's in the tree. Like you might see as we're building this, that kind of in the tree kind of tree house build. That is such a beautiful build, and I'm so excited to build on that particular lot also. So let's get into the build. So this is a 1x1 bedroom, kind of like fairy cottage, and it took me the longest time to build this. I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a little bit of a hill. So as you saw in the beginning, we use a little bit of the terrain manipulation to kind of raise up where the actual build is. So it's slightly on a hill. We do put in a pond and do like a really pretty like garden area, lots of landscaping. This front kind of tower piece was pretty much the focal point of the building. So I looked at several inspo pics on Pinterest just to get an idea, because this particular build style, this theme is so outside of my comfort zone. When I tell you that this build took longer than some of my bigger builds, like I could build a 3x2 bedroom family home in a suburban style and probably spend a good, maybe, 2 hours on it. This took me 3 hours. And you know, I'm proud of it. It's not my best work, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be able to do this and that I stuck with it and I didn't bulldoze this build, because there were so many times I wanted to, because it's not my style and it just didn't feel right. But I think it worked out in the end. So this towered section with all of the vines and the wisteria and the flowers, all of that gets changed. We do take the balcony that's off the towered section as well. That gets removed. We are currently inside just mapping out the floor plan, so I will talk this quickly through with you. The floor plan came out very simple. I wanted to initially start with the bedroom, which is what we're doing here. So I did a bedroom, a bathroom, and then we also tack on a tiny little space, which is for an infant that tacks onto the bedroom. I like it. I think it's a good use of the space. So what we end up with is, if you walk in to kind of like your first small area, and that is your kitchen and dining, that opens to this little kind of diagonal area. This is where that tower is, and that is our living room. We don't have a TV in this particular build. I didn't feel like in this particular world that a TV would be necessary. So it's just a really pretty sitting area with a fireplace. I really like that fireplace. This particular build does use a lot of the assets that have all the mossy textures, all those kind of cottage vibes, because we definitely got two styles within the build mode. And that is the one thing that I will say about this pack, is it does help builders when there are sets, when you kind of go, okay, these windows go with this piece and this window goes with this door and that goes with this. And like that does help if you are fairly new to building, or, you know, and you just want to build something quick maybe. Those kind of tips that the Sims team give us does help. As I said, this is our little kitchen and dining. I've used all the new kitchen stuff. This particular build does just use Enchanted by Nature and the Sims 4 base game. It is available on the gallery if you'd like to download it. My gallery ID is Antoinette44. It is in the description below, along with, all the other builds from this week. So as I mentioned, this is very different to the other builds that we've done from this week. But I just wanted to give you some bonus content this week. I am really happy with this build. And I do like this expansion pack. I think that I'm definitely going to go off and build maybe a couple of starter homes. I definitely want to do a big family home. And it's interesting because I think watching a lot of early access content with this pack, the one thing I found interesting was how little the Sims furniture, like the one thing I saw with this pack is how little furniture the Sims use. When you live off the land or you're a fairy, you don't actually need a lot of furniture. So I kind of want to build potentially a build that's just got what you need. So things like, I think, things like beds, they sleep on the ground, they don't need them. Do they really need a shower? Not really. They can sleep in a pond. Sleep in a pond. They can bathe in a pond. They're not going to sleep in a pond. They will drown. Anyway, these Vine Wisteria items I love, but I battled with a lot. With the swatches, so inside I've gone with a really lighter color. And I think the kind of, it's like an orangey, dried up looking wisteria color. It paired well with the yellow and warm tones that was in the color scheme inside the house. So in this particular build, we use a lot of pinks, yellows, greens, purples. They are the main colors that we are using in this particular build. And that's why with the exterior of the build, you would have seen we changed the roof swatch so many times. I loved that kind of purpley pink, it's like a dragon scale wallpaper. I love that on the tower and I didn't want to change it. So finding a roof texture that matched was really difficult, but we got there in the end. This is the other kind of large portion of the build, space in the home, and this is where the apothecary, I said that word right, table is. We also put in a desk towards the end of the build. I've got a lot of those indoor plants. I've got the nature press in there. I wanted that area to be big because, again, from watching a lot of the early access footage from our fellow Simmers, they use that area. That's kind of something that they will use in terms of gameplay. So I wanted to make a dedicated space for that. I could have easily made an additional bedroom or, maybe a little bit larger of a living room if I didn't do that. But I wanted to do that because it makes sense for gameplay purposes. Anyway, we are outside to what it would be the second most difficult part of this build. As I said, this build really encompasses the two things that I struggle with, roofing and landscaping. I don't know what it is about landscaping, but I'm not very good at layering and I struggle with sizing up, sizing down, and I don't use anything like Tool Mod or Better Build By, those type of mods. I'm considering this build literally made me want to consider maybe going down that path just because of how difficult it was. We do end up lowering down the foundation so that I can scoot things closer to the building. You will see a little bit later on, I do attempt to put some flowers on the roof. That was a nightmare. Don't worry, I have taken most of that footage out. You won't have to see me struggle. But yeah, I just kind of vomited color in this particular build. I really liked these plain low-lying flowers. I didn't realize they also have these in Horse Ranch. I did a build recently in Chestnut Ridge and I realized that they have them there. But I've always wanted just a plain low-lying flower and I didn't realize we already had it in the game. Definitely some of the, so for example, those grassed piece with the little daisies in it, we already have that in Cottage Living. So we definitely have some repeat assets, some ferns and some bushes. I love all the little mushrooms, and these like bauble pink flowers were really pretty. They also come in a blue and a purple, I think. I definitely wanted to keep using purple and pink because it's complementary to the house. That palette that has all of the potted plants, we do end up getting rid of that. It didn't fit this build. I want to use it, but it didn't fit this build. I really liked that curved stone piece asset that I just placed by the pond. I really like how the pond is super cluttered. The one thing I missed to do is to add some moss into the pond. I think that would be really good because again, we're using like the mossy windows, the mossy doors. We're using the grassed roof detailing. So all of these kind of things are kind of leading into that style. So I should have added that. These dormer pieces were really difficult to place, as you can see, struggling. And then we go back to the vines on the actual exterior of the build. Again, I struggled with this. It just didn't look right. It didn't matter what I did. It just didn't look right. In the end, I went for a more minimal look on the towered section itself. And I think it looks okay. I also went around the build, you would have seen, with the little lanterns. They are part of the bonus content that you can get with this particular pack if you do purchase this by, I think it's the 21st of August. I'm not recommending you should get the pack right away by any means, but I thought that was a cute little detail to add that around in the garden. We are now going in with the terrain paint. So I'm not sure, I think I did cut it out, but we did have a different fence. But in the end, I really like this stone fence. I don't believe the stone fence is used in this particular area of the world, but I liked it. It didn't feel right with the other fence. So again, I battled with things left and right. I've used the new mailbox. We have hidden a bin around the corner, around the back. The back of the build has nothing to it. It's all really in the front. And yeah, we're just putting in some terrain paint and just really finishing up the final touches. I will in a minute go ahead and add all of the planter pots, some seating. We got some really beautiful benches with this pack, and of course another swing set because we clearly don't have enough in the game. Swing sets. Here's the thing, and I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I would have preferred not to have a swing set, but to have a single bed. So with the beds, we actually got a double bed, an infant crib, and we got a bassinet. And do we get another size? Maybe we just got that, but we didn't get a single. I would have loved to have had a single bed over a swing set. I'm petitioning. Okay, this is the part of the build where I'm adding in these beautiful kind of like purple flowers. These are base game, by the way, into the roof with the mossy kind of small flowers. They're like a square grass flowered section. It's all base game. But they were the only flowers that I felt really fit for the roof. So I've put a few of those in. These little shelf mushroom pieces are so stinking cute. I've added in those. I've also added in a lot of the Nature Press artwork. So all of that is found in the debug menu. And at this point, I'm really just going back through the build, looking and seeing what haven't I added, and obviously doing the bedrooms and the bathroom because they're the two areas at this point I hadn't done. All right. I love this wallpaper. It's kind of super nature inspired, and this really set the tone for the bedroom. So I also use that kind of peachy, it's kind of like a yellow peach kind of color scheme in the bedroom. It's a little bit also in the living room as well. As mentioned, I've put in that desk because I forgot we had a desk. So it was good to go back through and see all the items. I love this little plant sim photograph that has like the little gnome thing on it. I know apparently in the game that fairies and gnomes don't get along, but I thought it was cute, so I've added it in. I think gnomes are cute. I probably won't like them in terms of gameplay because they're always, if they're alive, but I think they're cute nonetheless. All right, master bedroom. So we've gone in with the canopy bed, we've gone in with the rug, and I think this one has an elk on it. I love the nightstand that we got with this particular part. A lot of the indoor plants I've used as decoration because there's not a lot of clutter. I've gone in with just some base game clutter. I kept this bedroom very simple. It wasn't very big, but I think that that's okay. I've used the new mirror twice in this particular build. So I've used it at the front door 3 times, at the front door here and obviously in the bathroom. And I'm just adding some greenery in that archway heading into where the infant is because I just think it's so cute. Speaking about things that are cute, I love the curtains, the little drapery curtains that we got in this particular pack. Beautiful. All right, so the bathroom. I actually decided to pull the scaled textured wallpaper that we used in the exterior to the interior. We have a purple bathroom, not something I've ever done, but this is not exactly a build I normally do, so that's okay. We've gone in with the new toilet, bath, and sink. I've used a smaller window and downsized some of that wisteria in there. And then I've putting in this beautiful backsplash decoration tile. And I think it was really good. I think I do change it to a pink swatch because it then complements the pink scaled wallpaper that's behind. Also complements the pink chairs that are in the dining room section of that particular space. And then I forgot I didn't use these beautiful lights, these wall lights that have flowers on them. They're beautiful. So I've just gone around the entire build and added those in because I really like them. Okay, we're just putting a rug in the bathroom, and I believe that that is one of the final things we do. I think we are just going to go back through, add some more lights. Probably we're adding our bin. As I mentioned, I tuck that behind, and we have a bin inside, which is probably the most non-magical part of this whole entire build is that bin, but that's okay. You need to have one. All right. So we are now live in game and we're going to do a quick tour. So I've added in those garden plots. You've got a beautiful pond, a sitting area, another swing set. You've got a little fairy house. That's really important for gameplay. You walk in, you have this entry area into a kitchen, dining, living. You then have the bathroom, very purple in there. That master bedroom and that little space for an infant. It's not very big, but it's something. And I really love that tree bookcase. We've used it twice in this particular build. You go through the archway into a workstation. You've got a desk, you've got the apothecary table. I'm so glad I'm saying that word right. And we're back to the outside. Thank you so much for joining me for today's build. I really hope you enjoy this build, and I will be sure to post a lot more content using the Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.